season 3, The Heart of the Truest
Episode
Believer. Uno. This is a great episode because we are in Neverland. And it's so different from anything like that once has seen before. It's right off the bat, you know they're going to change the format of the show for this season. And it's one of those things where it's either you get along for the ride or you get off. And I think a lot of people, you know, talking to a lot of people, they're like, oh, season 3 didn't do it for me. But if you're like a true oncer and you were like, yes.
If you're the truest believer.
If you're the truest believer, you kept going after this point and you were like, yes, I understand what you guys are doing.
I think I went for the ride on this one. I was cool
I was really cool with it.
I felt like I was totally okay because we're going into a land that we haven't explored before.
I thought that was cool that they could like jump to a different land, not just like in Storybrooke the whole time. Like I actually really enjoyed it.
It was really cool. I like the fact that there's new rules for the new land, but the old rules still apply to the old land and to the characters from the old land.
Right. So good. Yeah. So good. So let's talk about this episode. Henry is obviously lost in Neverland, and he meets a boy that can actually help him navigate Neverland and maybe even get out of Neverland.
Yeah, he was a lost boy. He said he stole some fairy dust from Pan, and he's trying to get out, but he can't make it work because he doesn't believe that much. So he asks Henry if he believes.
And he does. Henry jumps right off a cliff and says he does.
I'm flying.
And Henry proves that he is the heart of the truest believer. And then that little boy is no other than your main villain for the rest of the season. Pan. It's Pan. I was a little bit like disturbed at first when I found out, like when you find out the reveal and you realize that Pan is going to be evil. Yeah. Like I didn't know how to feel about that part because I was like,
I thought it was awesome.
Sweet Peter Pan, like sweet, even though Peter Pan isn't your like conventional like fairy tale, but like I was just like, really, they're gonna make him dark? And they really did.
They really
did. They're not done making him dark.
I like how they twisted it though. It was really cool. It was caught you off guard.
Good play of like when the main villains like Rumple and Regina are starting to really change and their characters are starting to like shift to a different, just something different.
Yeah.
It was a cool way to introduce a new villain and not just say upright like, I'm the new villain. It was very like, oh my god, he's the new villain. Like,
because you thought he was totally good for like the first 45 minutes of the show.
And like Pan hadn't appeared the whole episode, so you're like, Pan,
yeah, we thought maybe he was the shadow guy.
Yeah, I thought maybe he's the shadow, but anyway.
The heroes of the story are Storybrooke fellows. They're on a boat and it's going fast and they're headed to a new place called Neverland. What?
You need to rap more. Yeah.
You know, like half of that's from the song I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat. Is that how it goes?
I'm on a boat and it's going fast and I got a nautical thing, pass me the air. I'm the king of the world on a boat like Leo. If you know the show, then you show not Leo. And then there's a bunch of cursing in there that
okay. Back to the episode. Well, Greg and Tamara, they dragged Henry to Neverland and they were made dust. We actually find out that their headquarters, they actually report to Pan.
They didn't know that. They had this walkie-talkie. They thought they were communicating with like a normal, like, we're magic killers, we hate magic people. They open it up and sand comes out and they realize this thing is enchanted and they've been talking with the Lost Boys and with Pan the whole time and they end up getting killed.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Greg gets killed and Tamara's injured, but then Rumpelstiltskin finds Tamara and he's like, you killed my son? I crush your heart.
I crush your heart like this. Meanwhile, all the heroes and villains are not getting along exactly. Rumple's like, I'm out of here. Y'all don't believe in anything. Like, Neverland is run basically on imagination. So you have to believe in magic, in hope, in whatever you believe. You just gotta believe in it. And work together. And so at the end of it, after they fight and have their quarrels and mermaids attack and Lost Boys attack and everything.
And Emma jumps overboard to get them to stop fighting and focus on her. And that's kind of what brings them together to make the storm calm down.
Yeah, and they kind of designate Emma as their leader, and Emma's like, you know what? Yes, a hero and a villain can unite, and we're gonna save Henry.
We're gonna move forward and get my son.
Yes, we will. So that was episode 1, The Heart of the Truest Believer, and stay tuned, season 3.
Yeah, leave your questions and comments down below. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, what do you think? Oh, did you like the turn that Ones was taken with this season?
Yeah.
It's a risk, but I think it paid off. I think it definitely paid off.
Let us know what you think.
That's what I said. Let us know what you think.
La, la, la.
La, la.